Hi everyone, good evening. Welcome to Chatters Club. We are glad that you all have joined us on our Insta Live. And let me tell you a very interesting stuff. This is our first ever Insta Live, and I'm extremely excited to have this live session with you where we will be giving you all the insights related to public speaking and confidence building. So I'm just waiting for my guest, Ms. Sujata Kumari from Public Speaking Tips, and then we'll start with our Insta Live. Hi, Sujata. Hi,
Hello.
Sujata.
Hi.
Welcome.
Good evening. How are you?
Good evening. Very good. What about you?
I'm good. I'm good too as well.
So, welcome
Awesome.
to our Insta Live. And as you know, this is my first Insta Live by Chatters Club, and I'm really excited to have everyone with us. I am seeing a lot of followers of ours have already joined in, and they are actually waiting to see our session.
Definitely. I'm excited too as well.
Okay, so I think a warm welcome to everyone, all our followers, all our dears, and I think this family has already given us a lot in terms of their love and support. So that's how we have come to this Insta Live today. So I think let's start today's session.
Definitely. Again, I'm excited too, Kanika, and yeah, looking forward.
All right, so Sujata, I think I am extremely curious to ask you this personally. I think before coming to the professional journey of the public speaking tips and before coming to what Chatters Club does, I want to personally ask you, can you share a bit about your journey into public speaking and what inspired you to become a public speaking coach?
That's a wonderful question again, Kanika. Thank you for asking. Like everyone has their own journey of being who they are. So I have my own journey. But definitely, if you would have asked me or if you would have told me, or if anybody would have told me that Sujata 5 years ago, that Sujata, why don't you become a public speaking coach? I would have been like, are you crazy? I don't think so. I can become a public speaking coach because I myself was very shy, underconfident. I had low self esteem and I was introvert. I wasn't comfortable talking in front of people at all. So that was me five before 29 and my start.
Wow.
So everything started when I was in a habit of improving my communication, and that's how I approached my mentor. That I very bad at it, and people have been taking me for granted. People don't want to be my friend, and I'm not able to crack my interview. I'm not able to get confidence to talk to my boss. So help me out, and that's how the journey started. That I firstly worked on my own communication, and later when I got to know that okay, also pursue or you can have career in this niche. I was like, cool, that sounds good. And I always had in my mind that the way I have overcome my challenge and that so many people who are also facing this challenge. And why don't I help them master their art of public speaking again? So my entire intention was to help people, and that's where I thought, cool, it can be taken as a profession. Why not? And that's where I chose to be a public speaking coach. And the
Wow.
journey again started off with a lot of offline sessions until again the page that we are right now today talking. This page started during pandemic in 2020.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a lot of struggles. Like I wanted to do public speaking, but people out there they like, oh, we have already seen you as an introvert girl and public speaking. Oh, are you serious? People were doubting on me, but you just get started and things work out. So that's what happened with me again. And
Yeah.
pandemic, I started off online coaching. Initially, I was doing offline for 1 year, and then during pandemic, I came online. I started doing sessions online. Starting from first session, I have almost covered. countries of 35 plus different countries we have coached. And happy to tell you again, Kanika, that I have coached 3 Miss Universe, and out of which 2 are Miss World today, and
Wow.
3 Miss India, and a lot of founders, CEOs, entrepreneurs, project managers have been a part of the training, and the journey till now has been amazing. A lot of celebrities like actors, actresses has been a part of the training from various different countries. And again, I cannot believe that a girl who was shy and introvert can make it this. And definitely I give this credit to myself that I was unstoppable, and I'm glad that I didn't listen to people that mentioning as Sujata, you cannot do it. So that's how we
Absolutely.
are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think that's amazing, hearing Sujata, and I think it's really inspiring. And I'm amazed, even I am amazed with the fact that you being an introvert girl and now taking up public speaking and mentoring and coaching, a lot of celebrities and, a lot of high net worth individuals. I think that's amazing.
Thank,
So yeah, I think that's really good. Yeah.
thank you, Kanika. And I'm also curious about your
Yeah.
I had my own struggle. I know that how to do for what
Yeah.
exactly public speaking.
Yeah, so I think thanks for this question. So I think now let me take you back like about 25 years. So when I was small, I was like very shy again, just like you. And speaking in front of others was a hard thing for me. But as I grew up, I realized how important public speaking and confidence is. And I still remember spending hours and hours rehearsing on the roof. And I think since birth, I have known myself to be extremely hardworking and practicing a lot to become a confident speaker. And now when I see today's kids and even adults, I feel many of them miss that kind of a hustle, the hustle which we used to do
We use
when we used to be small. Yeah. And that's why our platform as Chatters Club is like dedicated to helping them develop those essential skills which we were not privileged enough to get at that point in time.
exactly, Kanika. I remember back in public for I know that people are not want to talk to just
I
people.
think Sujata, I am not able to hear you properly. I hope our followers are able to.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now it's absolutely perfect. Yeah,
Uh, okay, cool. I think
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
just
yeah. Now it's fine.
set up the things. Just cool. Am I audible?
Absolutely audible. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, like I was telling you, Kanika, that back then public speaking was not at all heard anyway. People didn't know that. Today, I like few months ago, I had a conversation with one of this lady, the TV host today, and she was looking forward for my coaching program. And I asked her that I asked a simple question because she has been facing challenges since her childhood. That, why do you prefer working on this skill? Because you are facing this challenge since childhood. So, Sujata, this is something that we have a coach, and there are people out there who are going to help out this. So most of them will not aware of
Yeah.
opportunities these days. People are not sure what
I think again your voice has, I think it's
can you hear
actually
me?
breaking in between. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now it's fine.
Okay. I think it should be an internet issue.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, yeah,
All right. Huh.
yeah.
Voice is breaking. It's
I
with
think now
me.
it's fine.
Tara?
I think now it's fine. Now it's fine. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. So I think let's start taking questions from our dear followers. You want to take the question first, or
Cool. So, Kanika, now, like we were talking about public speaking, right? And definitely it's good to know you and know each other's journey. But let's address the main concern that people have been facing, right? Because public speaking is again a vast topic, but in next 1 hour, we try to cover as much as possible as experts here. We both are experts. So let's have a discussion on this, and audience definitely can drop in their questions, and we would love to address them as well.
Absolutely.
So before that, we'll be addressing the very common question that people ask, Kanika, is that how do we overcome our fear? Right, this is what they come up to me. Majorly, people say I lack confidence, I'm fear, I have a lot of fear, I have a lot of hesitation, I'm shy. So, what's your light on this? That what do you think that how one can improve and get rid of the stage fear?
I think, Sujata, that's a wonderful and a very relevant question, because overcoming fear has been one of the most difficult obstacle in the journey of public speaking and confident speaking. And there are some very simple techniques. It's a very simple technique which I am going to share with everyone for overcoming the fear of public speaking. Number one is practice. As I mentioned, when I used to be small, the only one tool which I had with me was practice. The more you practice, the
Well,
more confident you will become. And you can basically start with just small groups. I mean, you would need not take like big audience size, or like, a big lot of like a large amount of like people in front of you, but just start with small groups and just work your way up. I think that's the number one, simple strategy which I would like to comment. Number two, you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared in terms of knowing your material, knowing your content, and knowing the audience. So when you're prepared, you are more in command of yourself.
well,
And that's how the confidence comes from within. If you do not know the content, if you do not know the audience, then you will obviously fumble. And that's how public speaking is like, a successful piece. Number three,
definitely.
I think taking deep breaths before starting the speech, during the speech, to stay calm. I think taking deep breaths is one of the, I would say, scientifically proven that if you take deep breaths, you will be able to overcome the fear of public speaking. Next, I think you probably, I myself believe a lot in affirmations, and affirmation is visualizing success, imagining yourself that you're speaking confidently in front of the people, imagining yourself in your mind that the audience is responding you back positively. Visualizing success is one of the very key factor in terms of achieving success. Next, I think you have to probably, into getting the feedback of the people. Because if you are able to take the critics, if you're able to take the critical feedbacks from the audience and ask for the constructive feedback yourself from your mentors, from the audience, or maybe anybody else who is helping you in that journey, I think that also gives you a room of improvement. And I think last but not the least, you have to ultimately, stay positive. So you have to every day remind yourself that everyone gets nervous, everyone, and it's absolutely normal to make mistakes and to fumble, to probably, begin with the speeches where you're not prepared. It's absolutely normal, but these should not be the showstoppers in your life, and you should continue to build this journey.
Definitely. That was a very detailed insight again, Kanika,
Yeah,
about how one overcome their stage fear. And I totally agree with you that it's all about again. See, you told preparation, right? So never go unprepared, because again, confidence comes from knowledge. It doesn't come just like that when you're not prepared. So it's
absolutely. Yeah,
individual. On the other hand, you also mentioned the best beautiful thing is about the mindset, because everything is in our head. People, they think
yeah,
that okay,
yeah.
I'm going to stand in front of people and they are going to judge me, but it's just in our mindset. That there are 10 of you over here, I would like to ask you one question: that have you ever attended a meeting, or have you ever attended an event or a conference meeting as an audience, and have you been to that meeting or the event with this mindset that I'm going today to judge this person, and I'm going to laugh at that speaker if he makes mistakes? Or are you here today? Because let's say we both are on a virtual platform today, right? Are you guys 12 of you? Are you guys are here today? that let's go and waste my time and see if any one out of them are going to make mistakes. I'm going to laugh at them in the chat section. Definitely not.
Yeah.
We all go with this mindset that we are going to give a, we all go with this mindset. Okay, I'm going to get something to learn today. I'm going to come out, I'm going to improve myself. The speaker is going to add values in our life. So we always go with this mindset that what can I get learning more out of it. We never go with this mindset that I'm going to judge you. But what we think as a speaker when we are saying that, oh, the of me are here to judge.
Yeah.
So there's always
Absolutely.
a speaker and an audience. The thing that is there, audience is a misunderstanding that audience thinks something else, but speaker thinks about the audience something else, and it's vice versa when we are audience ourselves, right?
Absolutely. So, Sujata, as we both are like, public speaking coach, we often come across like plenty of questions. So, according to you, what are some like, how do you prepare yourself for a speech or a presentation? Or do you have a specific routine, a day routine, or some set of steps, or some sort of key mantra which you would like to share with our audience?
Definitely, Kanika. Now, this is a common question, and there's a lot of them because preparation is a key. That's what even you mentioned, and we discussed just now that preparation is a key. And a lot of them they make these mistakes, which is they don't prepare. Now, people either they prepare, over prepare, or people either they under prepare. But what people have to do is that they just have to be prepared. Now, when I talk about over preparation, people prepare to this extent that they memorize the entire content. But when I talk about under preparation, people be like, oh, I have been talking about this topic for ages together, so I know about it. Why do I need to prepare for this event? But understand, you don't have rights to waste the audience time, right? And that's where you're gonna prepare. You're never gonna take your preparation for granted. Now, how do I prepare my content? I'll tell you, Kanika, because preparation is the key that we say, but we also have to understand that we become an audience-centered speaker. So before you start preparing this content, get the quality content, start putting all the content on PPT. It's very important for you to understand that who is your audience. You got to do an audience analysis. You cannot just prepare content, okay? So you got to know that who is your audience, what is their age group, which location do they belong, and what language
Absolutely.
they do they speak, right? And what is their level of understanding, what is their expectation, what pain point do they have, right? So it's very important for people to understand audience first, because a doctor cannot give tablet until he don't understand his own patients, right? So we as a speaker have to understand our audience, and only then we, on the second step that we need to take care of is that what is the purpose of this entire talk, entire meeting, whatever it is. Is it to entertain? Is it to influence? Is it to inspire? Is it to set? Is it to motivate? What is the purpose of the talk? So if it is to entertain, you cannot enter Kapil Sharma show, which is for entertainment, and you start giving lectures there, right? Because that place is only for entertainment, and audience come there mindset to get entertained, right? So that's what it is. And second, the third thing we need to understand is that once you know your purpose of the talk, you know your audience, plan your content. Organizing is very important, because if you don't organize, that's where you mess up on the stage. That should I tell this one first? Should I tell that the other one first? You can ask your questions, guys. You can put in the comment section. People are like, "Ma'am, shall I ask one thing?" Please ask. Okay, and you can also listen to what we have been telling. The third thing that you can do after analyzing audience and after knowing the purpose is plan your content, structure your content, understand how do I start, how do I engage, what kind of story can I add, and how do I close it so that audience be there with me, right? And start once you plan your content, put them on a paper and don't script it, I recommend, but at least you can have a cue cards, or you can have a PPT presentation done where you don't bombard your entire PPT's slides with lot of information, but have 3 to 5 words on the slide or just a picture. But understand, when you are on the stage, your PPT should just be for just a source, like just 1 or 2 line. But your audience focus should be on you and what you are telling when you are on the stage. Right, that's one thing. And most important, people forget is during when they are preparing for their talk, is that they're not preparing for the worst, because they will like, okay, I have prepared myself, audience will like it, this is how I'll start, this is how I'll end, this is how I'll continue. But people, what they forget is that what if what if my talk is for 1 hour and I will just get 30 minutes to talk? Okay, what if there's a technical glitch? How will I manage it? What if there's someone who is disturbing me again and again? So we got to understand that we got to be prepared for the worst, which people they don't do it. So preparing for the worst is very important. Once that is done, once you know that you're just prepared and you're also prepared for the worst, if there is something that will happen, you know you can handle it. And before you go on the stage, tackle your nerves. And that's what Kanika, you already answered that question, that how to calm your nerves down. Okay. And once that is done, on the day of speech, reach little early, dress up well. Okay, so you're mentally calm. You talk to some of your audience so that they become your happy face, right? And during your speech as well, make sure that you connect with the audience in the first few seconds. Make them feel comfortable with you. You cannot just throw the content out there. So you got to talk to your audience. And once that is done, once your speech is done, make sure you also take a critical feedback from the person whom you think they can give the right feedback. We don't want a feedback like, oh, it was nice, amazing, awesome. No, these are some of the steps that I follow until I finish my talk. So I think,
I think that's an amazing insight. I think the kind of tips which you've given is like, I think there are one or two things which probably even I was not aware. I'm so thankful that you brought this up. And especially, I would like to highlight the fact that you mentioned that you dress up well. I think that plays the
most
most important role in any communication, because if you're dressing up well, then I think that's the kind of confidence which you carry from your external vibes as well. You're able to manage your external vibes also. So not only your internal strengthened up, not only your internal vibes are cool, but I think your external vibes also speak for themselves. So I think that's again one of the very important things. So thank you so much for this, for this lovely, insightful thing.
I also understand why people will, right? Because
I
so,
think again your voice is, I think, not coming
can you
properly.
hear me?
Yeah, yeah, now it's better. Yeah.
So that's what it is said, that what I feel my audience will feel. So it's very important for us to dress up well so that we feel good and we feel confident. And like I always believe in this one thing, that energy transfer is real. So audience can feel
Mm.
confident. That's it, right? So Kanika, we have a question over here. I think that we should be taking one. And guys, you guys can ask your questions as well. um, Ma'am, actually, when holding mic, heartbeat is so fast, counting numbers to calm myself down. But I failed. I prepared well, but I can't. Would you like to take this question, Kanika?
Yeah, I think so. This question is by Zest with SS. That's the name.
Yes.
So I think that's a very relevant question. And let me tell you, sir or ma'am, this has been the same thing which I have also gone through. When I started off, like maybe in my school days, I still remember. I think I share my story, this story with everyone. जिन को मैं public speaking के बारे में बताती हूँ. I think this story is like a very, well, now it feels it's a very funny story, but I'll take you back again to my school days. So, sir or ma'am, this is for you. When I was in my school, I was being told, I mean, my mother got a call from my teacher, and she said that tomorrow just prepare Kanika to speak on animals. She's, extremely good in, with the concepts of what kind of animals there are. So just tell her to speak on animals, and this will be like on the stage. When the assembly time is about to get over, we'll give her 5 minutes to speak, and they'll be like everyone, all the students, teachers, principal, everyone will be there. So my mother was again very confident, and she told me this, that tomorrow you have to speak on animal. I was like, okay, I will. So next day I went. I was being called upon stage, and you won't believe, Sujata,
Hmm.
I was just standing like this, and I could not even look up, to the audience, and my eyes were down, my hands were fumbling, and overall I was trembling. And you know what I spoke about? I spoke about that what I like to eat. I spoke about what I like to eat instead of speaking on animals. And everyone was laughing at me. That day, I still remember when I went back to my classroom, everyone was literally laughing at me. Ki, oh my God, you had to speak on animals. What did you speak on? But trust me, that was the turning point in my life. because after that I took that laughing to my heart, and that too positively, not negatively. I took that positively, and that was the day I started rehearsing with my own self initially, then with my mom, with my parents, with my sibling, with my cousins, with my friends, and slowly and gradually I made a group of mine, a very close group of mine, जिनको मैं अपने सामने बिठा देती थी. And I still remember I used to do rehearsals. After 3 months, after 3 months, I again got a chance to speak on fruits by my school. Same teacher, same communication, everything same. And this time I did a lot of practice. My mom got a call on a Friday and I had to speak on a Monday, fortunately. I got 2 days, and trust me, मैंने वो 2 दिनों में अपना homework नहीं किया था. But I remember I did a lot of practice on fruits. And then when I went on the stage on a Monday, I cannot tell you how I spoke. I was confident. I was absolutely perfect in my eye contact. I was absolutely perfect in my hand movements and my gestures. So I think this thing which happened in my life, it has actually given me a 360-degree turn. So sir or ma'am, I want to tell you through the way of the story that trust you me, this happens with everyone. But the only thing is that you should make your tiniest of moves, positive moves to improve yourself daily. Make a diary, make notes, think about the points which makes you nervous. Is it about the audience? Is it about eye contact? Is it about the content? Take a note of that and start working on it, and trust me, you will be able to do wonders as we have been able to do in our lives.
Very true, very true. That's amazing, Kanika, and I love the way you had taken that courage to go there the second time, present yourself, because most of them, when they have worst experience at first, they give up. And this has happened with so many students. They reach up to me telling that, ma'am, just because of that one bad experience that happened on the stage, I lost my credibility. Since then, I never had that courage to go on the stage. But you had that courage of going on the stage, and that's rightly said, Kanika, that you know you will feel this way every time. And that's what even in Dale Carnegie book it is written that even a professional public speakers have stage fear, right? So the heartbeat, whatever emotion that you're experiencing when you're on the stage, it's very normal, right? So a lot of them, they reach up to me again, Kanika, and I think I would like to add on along with your answer as well, is that a lot of them, they reach up to me telling that, ma'am, how do I remove my fear? Coming back to the same question again that we had discussed. So I think the beautiful thing that I usually tell to all my people, and I think that whoever are listening can listen to me carefully, is that I'm sure you watch lot of videos out there on YouTube that says that within 2 minutes remove your fear, within 2 minutes you'll become confident. That's a lie. I'm telling you, that's a lie.
Absolutely.
No, that's not true.
I
Because just like you have happy, exactly, just like you have happy emotion, just like you have sad emotion and you have anger emotion, fear is that emotion that should be in human, and that is a part of you. You cannot remove that emotion out of you at all. What you can do is that you can control that emotion. You can calm your nerves, just like you control your happiness. You control your anger. In the same way, you need to calm your nerves. So because this is one of your emotion, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right. You're right.
There's
Yeah.
one more question. I think we should be taking up the question, Kanika, because a lot of them are asking question over here. So I'll take up the second question, which says that Prithvi has asked that when I start speaking, I continuously recall, and when I have said in my previous sentence, that leads me to forget the next line. How to overcome? So I'm assuming that you go blank on the stage, right? Is it the right, Kanika?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
absolutely.
see, we got to understand, Prithvi, is that we got to live in the present moment. When you start recalling the next line, which say it clearly says that you have memorized your speech, right? You have scripted your talk, and that is where you're thinking about what's next, rather than thinking about what you're talking right now, right? And you're either living in the past or you are either living in the future. That is creating more anxiety for you when you're on the stage. So my recommendation is that this problem will never arise when you just go prepared on the stage, where I would like to merge both the questions, which includes the similar answer again, is that let's go prepared on the stage. Let's not over prepare, which means let's not script and memorize and omit there, because that way you will be called as a self-centered speaker. But we got to understand that you got to understand your audience, you got to deliver there, you got to understand your talk and you present it. Okay, so initially, see, how do I just be prepared was a question of Shishi, I think Shishri Than, I'm not sure. You know, forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name. But when you, I never recommend to over prepare or under prepare. But when I say just be prepared, it's like know your subject, because preparation is the key. Now, if you ask me or if you ask Kanika, talk about Indus Valley civilization, we will never know about it. We don't know. I'm definitely not gonna talk about it, right? So, when I talk about preparation, be master at what you're gonna talk. So, definitely in upcoming days, people are gonna ask you about your own subject matter expertise to talk, right? So, initially, there are four levels that I personally tell is that first, if you are afraid to go on the stage, go script word by word, read and come. At least you'll be one step ahead of people. But in the second level, prepare and go, but have an outline of it, which is like go with the cue cards. When I say go with the cue cards, just understand the blueprint of your talk and just carry them, the outline of it, and then just go and deliver it. Okay. And the level 3 that we talk about is like just be prepared and go without the notes. That level of confidence you will be gaining by level 3. And level 4 is like you are master of your speaking skill. Like, you know, you will be ready to talk anytime, anywhere without any hesitation on any topic. Right. So we got to understand when I say just be prepared, just understand your talk. Okay. Just have over knowledge. When I say don't over prepare, but have more knowledge about the topic. Okay, so for example, if I am given an opportunity to talk for 10 minutes, so I will prepare for the talk for only for that 10 minutes. But what if there is a technical glitch, or what if the host or anyone asks me to continue for at least 20 minutes because we are waiting for the guest or whatever it is. I'm not prepared, right? So for next 20 minutes, what am I going to do? So for that, it is said that have knowledge, have more knowledge about the subject that you're going to talk, but don't be over prepared so that if something happens, you don't get stuck or you don't know what to do, and that is how you lose your credibility. I hope I answered both of your questions.
I think there is, I think absolutely correct, Sujata. I have absolutely no doubt that whatever you said is is like is like very much appropriate for today's environment of high level competition, when everyone is trying to do race with each other. But I think one thing which is very common is the fact that do not feel competitive. Do not do competition with anybody, who's with like anybody who's with you. I
Yes,
think apart from that, probably the best strategy is to do competition with your own self,
exactly.
rather than thinking about what the other person has got. I have not got that. Somehow the other person is getting the fame, the money. I do not have that. So I always believe in positivity, and I always believe in positive thinking. When you are positive in your mind, you're definitely going to bring that positivity in your words, in your gestures. And I think one very relevant question which is now coming up is by Rahul Verma, and he has asked a very important question. And this is any okay, so he's asking any tip for having a positive body language. Any tip for having a positive body language? I think it's a very relevant question, Rahul.
Right.
Thank you so much for that. So body language is really important in public speaking because it helps you communicate better and shows that you're confident. That's the most important thing. So I would give you some very small little tips for that. Number one, you have to stand up straight. So if you're standing and speaking on the stage, you have to stand up straight. You cannot be, bowing down, or your shoulders should not be stooped down. You have to stand straight, and a good posture obviously makes you look confident, and helps you breathe also better.
Yes.
Number two, try and make eye contact, looking at different people in the audience to connect with them. You cannot be looking at one constant line, one constant person. You have to look at different people in the audience to connect with them. Number three, use hand gestures. Use your hands properly to emphasize on the points, but do not overdo it. Use the hand gestures only when it is required. Number four, you have to always have a smile. A smile can make you seem friendly and confident and approachable. I think that's again one of the very important thing to have a good connect with the audience. And next, I think it's a very important point. Avoid some nervous habits. Like some people have the habit of like fidgeting or playing with the hair or like tapping on the foot. I think that's something which should be avoided to the most. Take care that you're avoiding these nervous habits as well. And I think last but not the least, a very important point which I've been emphasizing since the beginning of the session is doing practice. Do a lot of practice in front of a mirror, record yourself to see how you can improve, and that's how you will overcome the fear of public speaking, and that's how you will be able to use your body language in a productive way.
Very true, Kanika. I think practice again is the key. Without practice, people cannot master the art of public speaking by just information again, isn't it?
So, Sujata, I have a question for you now. So, how do you engage with the audience? Like, I'm sure you would have also faced a lot of times when you have ample people around you, and so what are some of the key methods to keep an audience engaged throughout the presentation or throughout your speech?
Definitely, again. So, see, engagement is very important when you are on the stage as a speaker. That says that you are an audience centered speaker. And see, for engaging your audience, I personally believe that before we find strategies to engage your audience, if you just find the pain point of your audience, they will automatically be glued with your talk. So, if I initially also told the same thing that if you know what is the pain of the audience, if your audience are hurted and if you're giving them the pill what is needed for them, automatically you don't have to sound even interesting to engage them initially. That's one mantra I think nobody talks on internet, right? And the second thing what I personally believe is that to engage your audience, your first few seconds matters the most, because because you are stranger to your audience, okay, and your audience are stranger to you, right? So we got to understand that to break that stranger or professionalism or that awkward silence between a stranger, between two strangers, it's very important for an individual to build rapport, and that will happen in first few seconds. If a speaker is not building rapport in first few seconds, audience will not open up for rest of the sessions. Say for example, you do the session for an hour or you give your talk for 15 minutes, audience will not open up to you. Okay, so to hook your audience in first few seconds, you can start off with a question where your audience are getting an opportunity to talk to you. So you don't have to talk at the audience, you got to talk to the audience. The moment you
Absolutely.
do that, audience are engaged, and now they know that okay, the person is friendly, like you mentioned, Kanika, that you got to look friendly, you got to have a gentle smile, you got to maintain eye contact. If you are very awkwardly standing in front of people, they will feel awkward again. If you are nervous, they will feel nervous. Like again, energy transfer is real. So I personally believe is that start off with a question, that's how you can engage. Second thing is that you can start adding up the stories in your talk where I love the way you had added the story today, when a girl had asked you a question, so how beautifully you added a story and you explained her. And I'm sure everyone were glued to your story. So that's another way of again engaging with your audience. You can ask your audience to do certain activities if you have enough of time. If you have a small audience, come up with the activity that might take 5 to 10 minutes of time. But if you have a big audience, just ask your audience to make some more noise, and let's see which team wins. Or maybe you can ask them to clap, or maybe you can ask them to just take a selfie of them, pull out their phone and do some visualization techniques. So there's ways of engaging your audience, and that's how these are 3 4 hacks that I can give, the common hacks that we can use to engage our audience. But yeah, there are more.
Yeah, Sujata. Once again agree with you. So I would like to just add one point. So whenever I take sessions, especially in the schools and in the universities, I've recently had some amazing sessions in the universities, and you won't believe what I did. In the beginning of the session, I did a warm up act. just to make sure that my audience is warmed up, and they're like opened up to express themselves, because my sessions are
Yes.
every time interactive.
Yes.
It's not a monologue, it's not a
Yes.
speech which I go to kind of bore them. It's
Very.
like an interactive session which I usually take. So to give them a warm up, what I generally do in the beginning of the session is to do a freeze dance with them. And when I do freeze dance, you would be amazed that freeze dance is basically, just to give a perspective, like to everyone, that a dance is like a dance number is being played, and everyone is supposed to dance with their respective steps, etc. And when I stop the dance, that's the time they have to freeze themselves with the respective step which they have been taking. Like if they're doing like this, then they have to be like this when the dance number stops. So it's amazing to see everyone laughing at the beginning of the session, to see each other, what kind of step they were doing while they are freezed. So I think that's an amazing warm up which my audience, feels. And at the end of the session, when I generally take the feedback of everyone, they usually come up and tell me that the kind of comfort which you have in yourself and the kind of comfort which you bestow on us is so good that we have no other option than to reply you. We have no other option than to interact with you. And it's like an amazing interactive session. And that's what I believe in. I
Amazing.
always believe in having interactive sessions rather than, just giving and going them a boring speech, because that's not what we are,
Exactly.
made up for.
Exactly. I totally agree with it. And I just love I think the part that you mentioned, that the activity freeze dance. So I think I'm gonna implement them too again. I do this. I think in one of the session that I went to Tamil Nadu, like for an engineering college, and we did dance. Definitely not freeze dance, but it was a kinder dance for first 5 minutes, and yeah. So I saw the kind of engagement people usually have. They open up to you in a few seconds again. So amazing, Kanika. So Kanika, I also wanted to know, like we also come up with this frequently asked question, but before that, give us some other engagement activities, ma'am. Okay, do you want to add on, Kanika, on this, since you're talking about engagement?
I think one of this I've just mentioned, and some of the other acts like in between of the sessions. Like usually my sessions are, they're like funny. They have humor in them usually. Like most of my concepts which I teach to my audience, I prepare it so well that they are humorous, and they kind of bring a smile on everyone's face. That's the one. That's the one very important tact which I use personally. And I think the kind of nature and the kind of personality which I have, I think this is how I am with generally everyone. But yes, when it comes to my audience, that's the same technique which I use. And in between explaining the concepts to them, I also bring up, some strategies. Like what I say is wow, and this is like a wow minute, session. So this wow minute session means it can be any tongue twister, it can be a joke, it can be a shairi as well. And that's when I try to ask the audience if there is any shire in the audience who wants to bring up some shairi. And that's when they are like, they're like very happy to bring that up, because that's not what they're expecting out of a public speaking session. And this is how, you try to explain them the concept, make that into practice, bring that instinct from them, rather than me giving everything what I have with me. So I think that's a very important technique which I use. You want to add anything, Sujata, to this?
I think all good with this. We can, I think, along with this, people can also make people write down, just in case if they are in the formal settings. Okay, so if people, majorly there are people in my platform, they reach up to me because they are in the, either they're holding a good experience of 10-15 years. So if I have to give you the formal settings activities, you can make people write down. You can definitely you can, I think, beautifully told by you, Kanika, that you can break that silence by doing something which is not, which they didn't expect, again, the audience. But along with that, you can make them do the visualization techniques that can help them out. Majorly you can also make them write a commitment letters if you want. So depends on, again, the activity depends on what kind of events that you are in, what kind of audience are you addressing. Because when we talk about, definitely Kanika had added let's do a dance, or maybe we can make audience sing, or maybe we can ask them to just freeze it. So we as an audience, we as a speaker, we got to understand that which, because we have given a lot of ideas right now for the last 5-10 minutes, but which kind of activity should be added in what kind of event settings, that is something comes in the audience analysis part. So yeah, that's one of the things that I wanted to add. So analyze your audience before you do any activities.
Right. So I think now, Sujata, let's ask some like some winding up questions, because yes, now it's
Definitely.
time to wind up. So I think the last thing which I want to take up here on this platform is, what are your future goals as a public speaking coach? What do you think is appropriate, like the most important priority for you as of now as a coach?
See, the very first thing I'll tell you, when I got started with my public speaking journey, my intention were clear that I want to bring more leaders and I want to help as many as people as possible, because I just don't want to be a mentor or a speaker or a coach who is just looking forward for the money out there and make money and just go. For me, the intention since the day I have started my coaching journey has been simple, that I want to transform people's life, and that's very clear. So even today, even in my coaching program, I'm very picky when it comes to onboarding students, is because I want transformation. And even in upcoming days, I definitely look forward to transform as many people as possible in upcoming days. And I want to definitely um, come up with the offline meetings, because a lot of them, they have been asking that, ma'am, we definitely want to meet you, we definitely want to experience or get your learnings through offline. So upcoming days, my future plans, definitely not going to tell you that for the last next 10 years what it is, but for the next 2 to 3 years, this is the plan, that I want to host one of the big event here in India, and definitely in upcoming days in international countries, an event. And on top of that, I want to have the offline settings at least in Bangalore first, where I stay here in India, and then we can have expansion, just like the Toastmaster. We have a pro speakers hub community which can be expanded to an international level, and that can help people through that community. I can reach out to as many people as possible, where people get transformation done through live workshops. Along with this, what I've realized, Kanika, is that people, they just don't want, because people, they lack public speaking skill, but this, people lack confidence, people lack a public speaking skill, people are not confident on the stage. It is because of just one thing, that is people are not healed, people are wounded. So when I say people are unhealed, people are wounded, it is because of their past experiences. Like one of this lady, she reached out to me, she told that I'm not confident after pandemic. I'm like, what happened after pandemic? She's like, I didn't have a part I have a partner who is not supportive, or people have been carrying those childhood traumas, whereas people are carrying those emotional baggages, traumas, anxieties, that is costing them the confidence. They have low self-esteem. So what is my plan in upcoming days is that I want to host a retreat for people, which not only emphasize on improving confidence in people, it not only just to helping them to gain confidence, because see, confidence cannot just be temporary. So to gain confidence, they need to be healed, and therefore that I'm planning, my entire goal is that I want to host a retreat which not only gives confidence but also heals people first in that retreat. That will be offline, that is not going to be online. That will be for selective of people, maybe 5 to 10 people, not more than that. So we will go on a journey for 5 days, 10 days, whatever the duration people might take to heal themselves. So this will be every 6 months once. So we will be onboarding 10 to 15 people. They will be in a healing journey. After that is done, they'll get out of their comfort zone, they'll master the art of public speaking. And this can happen on mountains or some calm places where the healing process can happen. So these are my goals again. Like I have a list of it, but at least for 2-3 years, this is it.
Wow, that's really inspiring, Sujata. I'm glad, and I really hope that you're able to achieve everything what you are aspiring for.
Yeah.
And I think we, as your friends, your close ones, your buddies, we are all there with you to to celebrate this journey. And yeah, I think that's
Kanika,
really inspiring.
thank you so much, Kanika. I'm excited to know your public speaking plans. What are your goals? So it would be great. Yeah, looking forward for
Yeah.
your goals. What are your goals,
So
Kanika?
I think most of them are common. Inspiring confidence. I think that's something which is of extreme importance to me. My ultimate goal is to help people overcome their fear of speaking and inspire confidence in them. And when I see the output in my students or in my, in my workshops and webinars which I do, when I see the output, that's the only asset which I have with me right now. So helping more and more people, reaching out to them, right from kids to adults, and I think creating online courses for them. I also plan to make some online courses for them so that people can learn the basics of public speaking and English communication, and of course corporate speaking, because that's again one of the part of my course structure. And I also have a aim of writing a book. I hope to
Wow,
write a book soon with some tips and techniques of becoming a confident speaker. I also aim to build a community, as you also mentioned, creating a supportive community where people can practice and improve their speaking skills together. And I also aim to collaborate with schools and businesses. And I hope to work with schools and universities and companies to help students and employees to become better speakers. And I think, end of it, the only aim which I have is to keep everyone happy, to keep everyone smiling, and the kind of confidence which they will have in themselves after a lot of techniques which we share with them from time to time. I think that's the only thing which I aspire for. I aim to bring that smile on everyone's face with the kind of confidence which they have in the inner self.
amazing, wonderful. And I love that part again. When coaches they tell that I want to transform, I want to create a supportive, because you mentioned that I want to create a supportive community, and that's what it is missing in today's time. That people have information out there, but people they don't have a supportive community where they can be themselves, they can get the hand holding support of the mentor. And I'm glad that our goals together are aligning, and I'm glad that we both are gonna definitely build a strong community again, and definitely looking forward to have more such conversation with you and meet you in person again.
Absolutely, Sujata. Thank you so much for your precious time. And I would like to thank all our followers, all our viewers. I think this is the first time I am having this live session for Chatters Club, and the kind of love which I'm seeing on the number of viewers is amazing. And there are a lot of questions which, due to paucity of time, we could not take up. But I would request everyone to follow us, both Chatters Club, Public Speaking Tips, to to be a part of our family, to be a part of our close family. And please do send DMs of with your respective questions. We can even have
Yes,
calls with you, we can even have some sessions with you. We would love to have that conversation with each one of you,
right.
and make sure that you all are confident in terms of your speaking ability, and in terms of the in terms of the objectives or the aspirations which every one of you have in their respective life.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for the invite, Kanika. But since you
Thank you,
mentioned
Sujata. Hope to see you again, and let's host a in-person session once you're in Delhi. I think we would love to
definitely.
have that.
Definitely. But before we wrap up, I have one this question for you personally,
Yeah.
audience listening to us over here. And this is not, the topic of conversation that we had till now. But definitely, since Kanika, you mentioned this is your first Instagram live. And I'm going to ask you this question on Instagram live itself, that how was your first experience hosting Instagram live?
I think, to be very honest with you, I was a bit nervous, and you know that, because yeah. And did you notice I called you at 8:50 and I told you to join the practice session, because
Yes,
I myself believe a lot in practice.
yes,
And since this was my first live, I was thinking to have a practice session, but I really appreciate the fact that you consoled me there, and you said that just relax, everything will go fine, and there's no need for the practice, for the practice session as well. Let's just go live directly. So I think it has been amazing, Instagram live, and I want to extend my heartfelt thankfulness and gratitude to you, Sujata, for giving me the kind of comfort, for giving me the kind of learning and a lot of insightful conversations which we have had. And I really hope that I meet you soon, and let's have a in-person live session with you soon.
Definitely, Kanika. And it was a wonderful live when I have to tell you, being a first guest over here at your platform. Thank you so much for the invite. It was my honor again to be here. You did a wonderful job. It never felt like this was your first Instagram live. And I must tell you that you shouldn't stop here. You should be bringing on more guests and get a lot of golden nuggets out of them, right? And keep giving values to your community as well. I'll do the same
Yeah,
for my community. Yeah, and let's have a in
absolutely.
again in future. I wish you all the
Absolutely.
best.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank
Thank you so much. And once again, a big thanks to all our viewers. Do follow us and do shower us with your love and blessings. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye. Good night. Have a happy weekend too. Bye.
Bye bye.